Bakit maalat ang tubig dagat? Tara, alamin natin! Aside from answering the question, why is salt water salty? This video also aims to help you differentiate the types of variables, most especially independent and dependent variables. What I am presenting right now is a graphical representation of the list of variables you can see in your learning module. If you try to notice, the types of variables are grouped into two. We have quantitative and qualitative. Since practical research 2 is quantitative research, we will focus more on these types of variables and less on these.
This study aims to determine the brand content preferences of different age groups. One variable found in this study is ordinal variable. Brand content preferences are categorized into age groups. Therefore, participating age groups must follow an ordinal sequence. Example, Generation X, Generation Y, then Generation Z. This comparison of shoe sizes makes use of ordinal variables. There must be a logical arrangement of shoe size according to region. Here comes the opposite of ordinal variables. We have nominal variables. This article presents a list of booming businesses during the COVID-19 quarantine. Therefore, it does not follow a sequence. It is just an enumeration of businesses during the quarantine. Here's another example of nominal variable. The learning styles being talked about in this study refer to the types of learner. Therefore, it is nominal since learning styles are equal with each other. Learning styles need not to follow a sequence. We move on to the quantitative types of variables. First in the list is continuous variable. Time may be hour, minute, second, or millisecond. Therefore, it has continuous counting. Another example is height. Height may be based on feet, inch, or kilometer, meter, millimeter. It has an ending counting and has no definite interval. Discrete variables are exact figures. Like for example, board passers are humans. There is no 0.5 human or 20% human. We count exactly names of examinees who have passing average.
Now, why is the number of voters a discrete variable?
Another example is election. The Commission on Election counts exactly votes from registered voters. Perceptions can be positive or negative, or yes or no. These variables are called dichotomous variables. In this example, the expected response is dichotomous because the question can only be answered by either yes or no. Here's another example of dichotomous variable. In this research, the author compared two groups of math score. Scores from males and from females. A satisfaction survey is always anchored to a set of criteria, like what is shown in the table.
At last, we will now answer the question, bakit maalat ang tubig dagat?
By the way, my dear learners, salinity refers to the saltiness of a liquid. Let us now try to answer the question, why is seawater salty? Lots of myth about why the sea tastes salty is proliferated online. Even an innocent blue whale is made a culprit. Young kids are told of folk tales during bedtime.
We also have our own version of why is the sea salty.
Now, just to give you a hint, Salt has really something to do with the saltiness of water. However, I'm not a science teacher, so I advise that you read about this on your own. The only reason why I have brought out this topic is for you to easily visualize independent and dependent variable. So let's analyze this. Pronunciation is the dependent variable and choral reading is the independent variable because the pronunciation ability of the students depends on the quality and frequency of the choral reading. Okay, in this example, we seek to know how path therapy affects the patients in National Center for Mental Health. Now let's have non-experimental variables. We have predictor and criterion. Take note that in experimental research, we have the aim of making change on the dependent variable using the independent variable. Oppositely, in non-experimental research, our goal is only to know how the criterion variable was affected by the predictor variable. You might say that the functions of predictor and criterion variable resemble with independent and dependent variable. But remember, this example is non-experimental. Since ethically speaking, we must not subject to test our fellows who have mental challenges. The amount and quality of salt is the independent variable since it will determine the salinity of water. Meanwhile, the dependent variable is the water itself because its salinity depends on the quality and amount of salt added in it. This time, let's have an exercise on dependent and independent variable. I will be showing you words which you will label with either dependent or independent. So let's use red for dependent variable, then green for independent variable. So be ready. Okay, let's start. Which of these two words is the dependent variable? First word, hair fall. Second word, shampoo. So, which of the two is the dependent variable? You are right, it's hair fall. Next, what is the independent variable? Of course, it's shampoo. Now, why do we say that the hair fall is the dependent variable and shampoo as the independent variable? Okay, here's a simple answer to a simple question. Shampoo may either cause or solve hair fall. Let's have question number 2. Which of these is the dependent variable? Is it primer oxide or the roof? 3, 2, 1. You're right. Roof is the dependent variable and the primer oxide is the independent variable. Okay, let me explain this to you very quickly. Roof health depends on the application and the quality of primer oxide. A roof that is painted with primer oxide protects itself from corrosion or rusting. Now let's have the last item. We have teenage pregnancy and sex education. Which of these is the dependent variable? Yes, you are right. It's teenage pregnancy. Based on studies, unprotected sex is one of the root causes of teenage pregnancy. Teenagers engage with the unprotected sex or premarital sex because of poor sex education. Maybe you are asking this question. Is the cause and effect relationship on each pair constant? Answer: nope. We have what we call intervening or extraneous variables. They affect or change the situation. So let's go back. Sometimes it's not the shampoo that causes hair fall. Some are because of heredity or genes. Some about lifestyle. The application of primer oxide does not guarantee 100% rust protection. Sunlight, rain, humidity, and even the installation of the roof may contribute to corrosion. Lastly, even well-educated youth commit teenage pregnancy. Rape can be a reason. Depression, peer pressure, drug addiction, exploitation, and mental disability may defeat the purpose of sex education. And that ends our discussion on variables. I hope this video made things clearer.
For questions and suggestions, feel free to chat me. Just search Luis Casay Morao on Facebook. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye!